All right, web design students, let's do HTML tables. First, ask yourself, should I put this information in a table? If the information is best presented in a table, then that's what you should make. You probably need a table if you're trying to show a schedule or make comparisons or show information at a glance. So to make tables, we use the table HTML tag. For HTML tables, information is coded by row and then by cell in each row. So TR stands for row. TD stands for table data, or otherwise known as the cell.Thead defines a group of table rows, often at the top of tables. TH stands for table header. This groups header content together. It must be a direct child of a table row, TR. So if you're going to use TH, it has to be right underneath the TR. Tfoot stands for table footer, and you can use these to supplement the table header. So here's an HTML table I wrote. Got table, got a T-head, got TR, and then THs. And you close these. And then Tfoot, same thing. I wrote it at the beginning, and it'll go to the bottom. But same thing, Tfoot, TR, and then TH. And then the body with Tbody, row, a cell, another cell. So there's two cells in this row. And then closing TR tag so that this is a row with two cells in it. This is a row with two cells in it. This is a row with two cells in it. And this is a row with two cells in it. Closing the Tbody and then the table. And here's the result. Here's your T-head and here's your T-foot. TD, 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 TD. Now there's other things you can do with tables. Col span is a notable attribute that you can use to show a merge cells effect. So if you're using Excel and you merge two cells together, you can get that effect here. So you put it inside of a TH or a TR. Here it is inside of a TR and a T-head. Here's a whole table that I'll show you in a second. And then this is the result. Table header spans two columns. Row span is also a thing. In this example, ID and balance are row span 2, so they span 2 rows. You can also work in columns and tables using the col tag, but this is some advanced kung fu, so we'll set that aside for now. Here's the result of using columns. So you can style columns in CSS as well. Let's do some. Back to our code. Let's start another new section just for this table. Section. Let's call it table group. Close the section tag. And then let's just do a div for this table. It's called cover, just like the other ones. Let's just copy this all over again so I don't have to keep typing it. Change this to table example. Now, let's go make a table in this div. Start with the table tag. We'll close it, of course. We need a T-head. Close the T-head. Then we'll need a TR for our row. And then our TH for our header. Now, I'll just put some random stuff in here just so we can make a table. Let's call this stuff. other one for things. And more stuff. So now this is my heading group here. Maybe I want to do another new row. Oops, not here. That's my T head. So in my T body, I'll have some actual rows of stuff. Let's close the TR. Now this is our first row of actual data. So we'll put TD for table data. Maybe I'll call this stuff one, just for example's sake. TD things one, TD more stuff one, TD. So that's one row, that's one full row. Let's do this again. Make another row. As you can see, this can be kind of tedious, but this is how it's done. Got a closing TR tag just to expedite things. I'm just going to copy this and change the letters or the numbers 3, 3, 3. So now I have 3 rows plus my heading row. Let's make ourselves a T foot while we're here. Let's just call this stuff foot so we see difference. TH things foot and TH more stuff foot. So we can tell which one that is. Close the T foot. That's our table. Save this. Just review table, our T head, which has the headings. Our body is here with our actual code for our actual rows. We have 3 rows and each row has 3 cells in it. And then we have our footer, our table footer. So we go back to our code here. Should have some content underneath here. 3, 2, 1, refresh. All right, so now we have some table here. Now it doesn't look like much because we haven't styled it yet, but here's a table. You can kind of tell that this is highlighted or bold because it's a header. Same for these. So now let's style these up. We're also going to make this the same width and float this like we did the other one. So let's go do that in our code, in our CSS. Let's start here. This was table cover. Let's do our standard thing. Float, we'll go right because we went left the last time with 40% and margin left 5%. Let's have a look real quick here. 3, 2, 1, refresh. So now it's floated. It's over here. It still doesn't look like much. We'll start adding some style to this to make it look good. Back to our code here. So now let's start to do some table styles. So let's add some style. We'll start with table itself. Let's do a little background color, Let's do light gray so we can make it stand out. We can add a border to the outside of it. We'll do a standard 1 pixel solid black. And we will make sure that it fills in the space similar to our images and our videos. I'm going to make it 100% of that 40%. So let's save this, go back to our code, 3, 2, 1, refresh. Now at least we have a border around it, a background color. We can add some more style now. Back to our code. Now we want to style the rows and the cells itself. So we'll do TR and with a comma TD. Another border. Let's do 1 pixel solid black again. Save this. Go back to our page, 3, 2, 1, refresh. Now our cells have a 1 pixel solid black border around them. Notice our THs don't have any borders around them. Actually didn't need to do TR in the last one, but we can go back and add a TH to this so that that gets its own style. TH border 1 pixel solid, whoops, solid black. Whoops, that doesn't look right. Thank you, Anna, for telling me that. Now, 3, 2, 1, refresh. Now each individual heading has its own border. That's good. Because we're in our TH, we can give this a different background color. Maybe let's do green, just to set it apart. 3, 2, 1, refresh. And now this TH and this TH have turned green. So that's good. What other things can we do? We can do spacing, like with padding or margins. So maybe we'll go to our row. Maybe you want a nice padding, maybe 1%. We can always play around with this. Want a padding on all 4 sides using just this padding 1%. 3, 2, 1, refresh. Now they've gotten a little more space. That's good for these cells that have a little more padding. Maybe we'll do the same for our TH. That kind of looks good. 1% padding. Back to our code. 3, 2, 1, refresh. And now these headings have a little bit of padding. That's good. You notice that our headings are centered by default, but our cells are not centered. So we can use CSS to center them if we want. Back to our TDs and TRs. We can do text, align, center. Put them in the center. So 3, 2, 1, refresh. And now they're in the center. Maybe you don't want them in the center. Maybe you want them text align right. Maybe these are like numbers for a table. Go back here, 3, 2, 1, refresh. Now they're right justified. And even our headings are right justified. Maybe I don't want that. Let's switch this back to center. 3, 2, 1, refresh. Back to the way it was. Maybe I'll delete this more stuff 3 and make this span 2 rows. So I'll show you that. Back to our table. I want to get rid of this last one. So I will just comment it out so it doesn't get seen. And maybe I want this cell to span 2 rows. Row span. No, column span. Sorry. I want this to span 2 columns. not span 2 rows, but 2 columns. So adding this call span to this last cell will make this go the width of 2 columns. So if we save this, go back to our code, this should be gone, and then this cell will be merged with that cell. 3, 2, 1, refresh. And now you see that this cell has been merged using call span.